We did a little interview with current Chiefs rookie tackle, Darian Kinnard, straight out of Lexington, University of Kentucky.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that was a really great conversation, and you guys will see that in a second here. But JD, what do you make after talking to Darian?
Oh man, he's just a super guy. He's a guy that I know who's hungry for playing, who's very detailed in what he's doing, about getting better, about wanting to get on the field. And so when you have a guy like that, that's the reason we drafted him. And so we were fortunate to get this guy out of Kansas City. But no doubt about it, man, talking to him, man, just a wonderful, wonderful all-around guy. And so I love his attitude, what he brings to the table. He's the future for the Chiefs organization, no doubt about it. And so he gave us some good insight, man. It was a great conversation, really down to earth, intelligent guy, very, very sharp in everything he did. And like I said, man, he's a guy that likes playing football. And so that is going to put us in a great position. And I told him, I said, man, we can't wait to see him out on the field, like consistently, just kind of getting out there. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for this guy in the future for the Chiefs organization, having him here. And so,
yeah, and like we were talking to him. And most of our viewers and listeners know that we talked about him before the draft, and then once draft happened, we were so ecstatic to have him. And a lot of you guys don't know, but JD and I, we texted during the games and the draft, and that was when we drafted. It was like, we got him, and he fell to that to where we got him. He wasn't supposed to go that late. He was supposed to be a day 2 guy. In drafts we saw, and we ended up getting him. So yeah, hopefully he is the future right tackle of our squad, which I think he will be.
Oh yeah, no, shoot. Look, our fortune, everybody is lost. Seriously, the pass on this guy, and so I know he's one of those where it chips on his shoulder. Hey man, shoot, you gotta look out for this guy, man. He's going to be an absolute star. And so, like I said before, man, it was just good talking to him, getting some great insight on the organization, just talking about some O-line stuff. Which he really gave us some great nuggets on, technique, things that he's learning, the whole process of things, talk about some guys. So it was really a fun conversation.
All right. And right now we're going to toss it to our interview with Darian Kinnard. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
So far, transition's been good, honestly. Just kind of, it's a different feel, different vibe. You being the transition is a little different in terms of, mentally picking up things and how the game changes and, how defenses play things are just a lot more different than college. So it's just kind of picking that up. But so far, so good, man. Having fun, going day by day. I'm on active roster, in the building with some great guys. I got Orlando Brown, Joe Tooney, and then I got we got some young guys in there too. So that, just kind of helped me show me the ropes, and just kind of picking up from them. And I'm still learning, still plugging and chugging, and just trying to figure out my way and figure out that niche where I belong. So far, so good.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. There's some heavy hitters. So for sure, the ones you just named, and I think it's sometimes when you're a rookie, and I look at it so long ago, but it's always the same of just trying to, like you said, find your way. How do you fit, right? You're trying to find the pulse and the tempo of everything, right? And how the coach are evaluating you. What am I doing in practice? How much, and we overthink that sometimes. Like, dang, God, did I mess up here? And am I pushed down the depth chart or what? And so I'm sure, Big Red is giving you some feedback, and that's always good, man, from the head coach to give some feedback. And as long as they talking to you, that's all you need, man. That type of encouragement. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. So,
man, those guys was great. Honestly, I mean, Big Red, otherwise known as. He's a very funny guy. He's very cool. He's all about letting players be themselves, but locking in need be. When we got to punch the clock, we got to punch the clock. He's very fun. He'll joke with you a little bit, but I mean, even when camp was here, a while, not too far back, but feels like forever ago already. He was talking to me, kind of just checking in on me and letting me know feedback and some of the things he was seeing, and that was on top of the coaching. And like you said, the tempo, the rhythm. Especially coming into a Super Bowl contending team. It's a lot different. It's more different than I would say other teams. I mean, there's guys on the team. We got JuJu, guys from all over who've came in, and this was their first camp also at Kansas City, and they can just tell the environment, the tempo is different, like the whole attitude, the whole aspect of how we carry ourselves and how we attack every day is it's different. It's on another level.
Yeah, yeah. And look, I've been a part of two organizations, a lot of guys that have been in different places. I played with a lot of greats, a lot of Hall of Famers. But one thing about Kansas City, and I've always said this, you haven't met the original owner, but Clark. They're such a good family, just good-hearted, like family people. Like it's never like one of those things like you feel like you're downstairs and they're upstairs. It's always like a big family all the way together and inside the entire building. And so
yeah, they're always in the facility. The whole. And I've talked to Mr. Hunt plenty of times in the cafeteria. Like, we're all interconnected. We all talk and we're all on the same page. Like, everybody's involved. It's not, just like you said, it's not somebody on the top floor and on the bottom floor. It still doesn't take away from the fact, man, a little nerve-wracking trying to talk. I sometimes shaking a little bit. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't want to say something that's gonna miss. I mean, yeah, no, they for real, are always in the building, always around good people. Always have that friendly energy. But when it comes down to brass tacks, man, it's about doing the best for this organization and just getting wins.
Yeah, yeah. So and that's what I love so much about him, man. Their dad, Lamar, man, he would come in the locker room. He knew everybody's names. He knew your family. He knew what your parents was doing, what your brother was doing, how you played that game, and it was always words of encouragement. It was, and that's why I'm so thankful for, man, the Chiefs just being a top organization in the NFL, and so it makes it easy to go to work when you have a place like that. So, now, man, without a doubt, a lot of guys don't have that opportunity, and they're fortunate to play, like you said, for a Super Bowl contender to come right in, just like immediately. It's like, man, I'm here. Like sometimes, the development to get to that place is a long road. Sometimes you just don't have the pieces. Sometimes everything just doesn't work out. But kind of getting thrusted into that position, like what's expected of you, right? It's like, hey, now you just kind of coming in here, you're gonna be a piece. Nah, when you come in here, and they got you because they knew what they were getting. And that's what, like me and Marcus was talking about it, because I would just rave on you about your ability. And so, guys are talking, oh, he's going to play. I said, look, he's going to play tackle. I said, he's got great feet. He loves to go out there and just bash people. He loves to hit, and he's athletic. And I think sometimes when they see kind of big guys, they don't quite understand, what all you can do, right? Sometimes they just try to put you in a box. And so what I like about you, man, you kind of like this Swiss Army knife where you have that ability to switch up to play guard, center, tackle. You have that about you. And the more you can do, the better off you're going to be, especially in this league.
Yeah, it gives you, valuability, I guess. Lately I've been taking inside reps too. I've been playing from the right tackle all the way to left tackle. The only position I haven't really got reps at is center. But if it ever needed be, and I feel like I could do it. But I've been getting nothing but left, right guard, and tackle and left tackle reps at practice. Being out there for the show team and stuff like that, just working on technique and stuff. It's a good opportunity. It's fun. Honestly, I enjoy it. Being a tackle is a little different in the NFL than college. In terms of play style and then also the type of athletes you go against. So, my college, University of Kentucky, we were more downhill run team, and we could pass. The last year and a half, we were like, okay, well, we can't throw, but all up to that point, we were like, hey, let's run the ball. So my mentality, I have that guard mentality of, let's run. I'm completely up for that. But I also, like you said, had the athletic ability to drive back, pass set guys who are better athletes. But Yeah, just being here, just in terms of new technique, new coaching. I think one of best things I was told as a young player is to overcome good coaching.
That's good.
It doesn't mean that the coaching isn't good. It just means that you take everything you can from that good coach and then apply it in a way that's going to best fit your play style and your mentality, how you process and evaluate through the game. So, I'm going every day into work with that mentality of, okay, overcome good coaching. Because, Coach Heck, he's been doing it. He's been in the league 32 years, man. Yeah. He's one of the best. So, just getting all that coaching and learning all these new type of techniques, and then, not really having that, I guess, I had just a blank slate of just ability.
Yeah.
I had technique, but it wasn't well formed.
Right.
And to KC, Coach Heck is just sitting there with a hammer and chisel, like, hey, bro, we're gonna get this fixed out. So, just learning, developing new technique things. I knew nothing about an angle set. When I got here to the NFL, drop back, or it was a rollout play. So there was no angle setting. There was no 45 degree. There was no jump setting really. That toolkit. So just being able to like learn that and then already be able to apply it to guys like Chris Jones. Every day at practice, it's very encouraging to me, and it's just very fun to do, whether I'm at guard or tackle. So, like I was saying, it's just the level change, and then what is needed at each level is just it's a big difference. But honestly, I'm enjoying it playing guard and tackle. I'm just learning the ropes, and like I said earlier, just finding my way.
Yeah. Well, look, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're better off for having you, believe me. And I think you got a bright future here with the Chiefs. And I'm one of those, man. I'm a little biased. I'm like, look, his guys could push it right now to be a starter. And so that's what, like, I wanted to talk to you just to see where your development was. I love everything that you're saying, because I think people don't quite realize, like you were saying, when you're being refined, fine-tuning everything, the techniques on how meticulous it is, especially in the NFL, when you're sitting back and you're going against the premier pass rushers, especially this modern era, and the mixed bag of things that they have with them that comes with it, right? Yep. And so you're getting that work every day against Chris, which is that's the beauty of it. You're going against possibly the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Every single day, right?
Frank Clark. Can't forget that man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Frank Clark. And so you probably been out there with Dunlap a little bit. Dunlap's probably, he's a little older head. He's probably like picking and choosing his refs when he comes in.
I mean, he's good to go against, though, because, he's a talker. So, like, I like getting some of that feedback. Because old school. So, that's what they do. They're like, all right, so when I come here, I'm gonna hit you with it. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, at least it gives me insight. It gives me insight, and then him being a older vet, kind of, gives me that insight path to, how the NFL works really. So it's definitely fun doing that.
Yeah, yeah. And the whole time, I'm sure they telling you also too, like, hey, man, I'm looking at this move. What could be wrong, and like you got to watch this too. And so that's what I love about guys helping each other, especially on a high level with a team like this. Can you kind of speak a little bit to the and I think now I kind of go back into this as well, where you're like me, okay? When I was playing for the Chiefs, we had two backs rush over 1,000 yards, 1,500. We had 25 touchdowns of Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson. That's what we ran the football, with smash mouth, bully ball, put your cleats in the ground, come out the football, hit you in the mouth. Okay. And this is vastly different from that. I mean, And so when we seen Patrick having to he passed what was it 68 times?
74, 75, yeah.
Yeah. So when I hear some fans and people that critique tackles, oh man, they're not doing a good job. I said, you have no idea how difficult that is to pass set that many times in a game.
Against the person athlete than you.
Huh?
Against the person who's a better athlete than you.
Yeah, exactly. You're going backwards, they're going forward, right?
Yep. They run forward, we run 5, maybe.
Right.
A little different. I mean, I think in the league where we're expected to win 100% of the reps, but we're always the worst athlete. So it's definitely, and it's cutthroat, man. It's like, hey, you give up a sack or two, and especially if you're a young guy, your job's on the line, which is crazy because if you're a wide receiver or a DB and you make a play or whatever, it's just part of the game. But when it comes to us, it's your job's on the line. So I just think it's a little crazy. We're not big boys. I don't think really have the statistical advantage on the O-line against guys, for 76 snaps, 75 asset. Don't have the advantage. I'm not saying that's just like, hey, doing the best you can, and when people try to critique and say whatever, I bet money they can't do it better. I bet money.
Yeah. Look, and my being primarily blocking tight end, and I was going out there, and I tell you, there was one guy that I had to go in a 2-point stance. I was just like, look, man, hey, coach, I got to go 2-point on this. I'm seriously. And he's just like, all right, look, JD, do what you have to do. And so it was Robert Mathis. And so, Freeney was on the other side of it, right? And Freeney was the one who's getting all the hype and stuff, and not taking anything away from Freeney. But Mathis, because he was short and he had like a mixed bag of moves, spin moves. I mean, he was low. And you know how it is. I mean, you 6'6", I'm 6'6". Trying to bend down to get your hands on a guy who's low is a tough thing to do, right? Because you're just trying to get up underneath you, right?
Yeah, they're coming off low, and we're already in a 2-point trying to kick back. They're already lower than them. So it's not a good leverage game for us, No. So
we don't like being on our knees. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you what, not a lot of people like squatting nowadays, man. I'm telling you. So you got to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah. And so that's what I like when you out there on that island and doing it, like you said, statistically going against that is not in our favor, not in the tackle's favor. It's just not. But I love it because I know the mentality, because your warrior is, look, it's me and this guy in the phone booth. If one's coming out of here, it's going to be me. If anybody's going to win this battle, it's got to be me. And so I think when I appreciate it, because I understand with the tackles and the guards and whatnot, I played it, I know what it is. And so I when I'm giving guys grace by saying, look, man, you don't quite understand. When you're sitting over here saying, oh, he's terrible, or the O-line's playing. No, every O-line I know, offensive lineman, loves running the football. That's what they prefer to do. I don't know any lineman, at least I haven't met one, that says, hey, no, let's pass 75 times a game, right? Let's just pass 60. I'd rather do that.
You might find college, maybe. But shoot, most people want to run the ball, man. We like that. We like that mentality, get it toe to toe. Just finding out who the better man is. I mean, you might get on the other, but like whoever wins the battle, at the end of the game, you know who won. So I mean, yeah, we like the ball for sure. I mean, that's one of the biggest key things being here in the NFL. One thing at the organization right now is like, when we go into a game and we're passing a lot, it makes it more valuable that when we get a run call played, like a run call, like we gotta step it up right there. Like no matter how tired we are, no matter what quarter it is, no matter what down it is, if that play call is a run, like it's time to strap up and like make it go.
Yeah,
because those now it's becoming more of the opposite back when you played. It's not like a drop back rarely. It's like you rarely run the so now we got to make it go now, especially.
Yeah. And one thing I love about running the football is you just get those extra hits on those guys that slow those pass rushes down. You know, definitely. I tell them, like, look, man, you get a little extra something right here in the rib or that side that they hit. You know how it is. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna give them just that little extra. You know,
especially that confidence, man. It's a confidence thing. Like if we go toe to toe, I get a pancake, man. Like they're already in their head. You know, I got that confidence to go out and play it. I can pass that, and I have more confidence than they do at that point. So it only helps. Like you said, bruising them up a little bit, get them on the ground. Like it helps when it comes to those pastime situations.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to talk to you about some of the guys on your team. You named JuJu, but talk about 15 in the huddle. And of course, 87. You know, the tight ends a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Your man beside you. You know, the guy that you're protecting, watching his back. Talk to us a little bit about him and those two actually. You know, what you think, your perception of these two guys.
Okay, so Pat and Trav, you know, at first, like coming in, you know, as a rook, I don't know quarterbacks going to be. I talked to other guys. Some guys said quarterbacks were acting all high and mighty. Others were friendly, but I had no idea. So coming in, you know, I was just like, all right, let's see what he's like. So now I've done both of those guys for a while, honestly. Like they're down-to-earth guys. They're fun. They like to cut up. You know, they really just look out for each other and care for each other, and they love the game. They care for everybody on the offense and defense, man, because they know at the end of the day on Sunday when we all got to come together and get a win. I will say Pat likes to talk a little bit though. Like he likes to talk a little ish here and there, and
wow, okay.
He likes to talk. You know, he'll talk your ear off though sometimes too. He's just his mind's always going. You know, it's being a quarterback, you got to process so much. It's so little time. I guess his mind just doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
And then Trav's a really laid back guy. You know, being in the league for so long and what he's done, and you know, in my opinion, I mean, probably not my opinion, but a lot of people's opinion, future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
You know, he's very laid back, very down to earth. You know, it doesn't matter if you're somebody on the practice squad or you know, somebody's been playing for 10 years. Like they treat you the same, treat you with respect, and you know, y'all can cut up no matter what. Like he actually gives you time, pays you attention. You know, same with everybody. Yeah, everybody knows what we're in the building to do, and like you said, there's no first and third floor. Everybody's on the same floor. Everybody's got the same, you know, goal in mind, and that's winning on Sundays. So those are great guys to be around. Great guys to have in the building, you know. And I know Trav brings the energy. You know, he'll make jokes here and there through meetings, and you know, he'll be able to crack us. So you know, just have guys like building big change.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes, man, if y'all been in like team meetings and when those guys are just blurt out something crazy, like, man, come on, man, what's you know, like just like, oh, like here you go.
And we got a couple of them. I mean, Trav and Pat are one of them. I'll be honest. On Saturdays, not Saturdays, but sitting there on Fridays, go over like 2-minute stuff. And we watch plays from throughout the week of other teams that play, or like high schools or colleges that played. And you know, sometimes they'll blur some stuff out, and we're all just in there cutting up sometimes, because sometimes they'll put in a college 2-minute situation that one of us were in, one of the players.
Wow.
So, you know, we just all have a good time. Give each other some crap here and there, but you know, we just have fun. You know, in that building, it's really just get to work, focus. But other than that, you know, just enjoy yourself, be yourself, and let's get.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. Glad to hear it. Marcus, you have anything as far as ask?
You pretty much covered all the big topics. I did want to say, because you mentioned Andy Heck, who actually went to my high school, and when I was a sophomore in high school, it was like a big deal when we were going to the region championship, and Andy Heck sent an email to like wish us luck and stuff, and it was a huge deal for us. But the one thing about the Chiefs in general over the last since Andy has been there, is that our linemen usually can play all different types of positions. And before Coach Reed got there, we didn't really have guys who were like utility types who could play every position. Was that something when you got drafted? Was that like a conversation right out the gate that you knew that you were going to have to, like, they wanted you to prepare for all right guard, right tackle, left tackle, all that stuff? Was that something you were right away, like they told you, like, to be ready for that?
Going to combine, draft and everything. A lot of teams were talking to me about playing guard and stuff. But when I got drafted, I talked to Coach X, like he drafted me to play tackle. So, I knew personally, like during that training process, I took tackle and guard, like I did guard training by myself, kind of just like get the feel for it. And then also I knew only add value to myself and, in terms of helping the team out if I play positions, not just one. Because, the league is, anybody can get hurt. All I knew is if I could play multiple positions, I would help my team out. So, cross getting ready for when Trey went out was that next week I was getting heart right, like focused solely because his backup was, and if something went down, I would have to go in. So like it just led to that needed to be able to play multiple. But Andy, coach, I want the coach. I don't want this going out and him hearing me say this in person. Coach Heck just told me, it's like they drafted me as a tackle. But as things were going along and just me being facility, I only know it's going to help me and help my team in the long run if I play multiple positions.
Yeah, like I said, man, that value of having that is just, you can't, overstate how important that is, right? And so, look, man, I'm excited. I can't wait till you get on the field, man, and show what you can do significant time, because I believe, and it's not taking anything away from the other guys. You understand that, but I believe, man, you get your shot and the opportunity when you're out there. It's going to be like one of those things, like, man, this, you know what? It's going to be hard to take him out of there. It's going to be hard. So, and it's just the competition of things, that's how it works, right? So, man, look, brother, I appreciate you coming on, and giving us some insight and stuff like that. Man, okay, there's always a question. Everybody's always asking. I'm gonna ask this generic question about the barbecue joints and everybody goes to. Okay, because what I want to start doing now, because I never had a chance to do it. So obviously, when I'm playing, I'm starting to try to come back a little bit more, and I want to tailgate. I ain't never tailgated out in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Yeah. So I want to do the tailgate, but what barbecue joint do you like right now that people's taking you to?
There's two that I've got here so far that I think was damn good. I can't remember the name of the other, but I remember one place was like Q8, I think.
Oh yeah, Q39.
Q39, yeah. Sorry, I can't remember.
Good spot. It's a good spot. Yeah, you want it?
39 is a very good spot. And there was another one I went to, but that was during like OTAs. So it was a little bit back. And I don't like to go out too much, so I'll be just in the house.
Yeah. I got you.
Sure, for sure. I think that I feel like the ribs are good. Barbecue's good out here. Some places though, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a little overhyped because they're acting like it was for every place. There's only certain. They were like, "Hey, Kansas City's known for barbecue." I'm like, "Hey, there's only like maybe 3."
Right.
I went somewhere else one time, and oh man, I was like, people are overhyping this.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to do like the tailgating, because I'm thinking, what everybody else is putting on their plate, on their grill. That's what I want to taste. I want to taste, the guy that doesn't have the store or the franchise, the one that's just been in the back, putting his hands in the coals himself, man, taste some of this. Try this out, right? That's what I want.
There's a couple people on the team that like to grill out. Like they really like to cook out. So I feel like you definitely will find some people out there tailgating that make really good barbecue, because I think Q39 was more of like a competition style barbecue. Like, you don't do no competition style. You know, they might be able to pull that. I don't know. I ain't been out to a tailgate, so we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it should be a good time. I was supposed to come out this past weekend for Kimball Anders, and Kimball played together for like a year. But I plan to get out there in a couple of weeks, man. And so, shoot, man, I had to give you a hit or something like that, have a beer, something like that, maybe all season. I don't know if you're back here in Kentucky any. When you do, you know, you got my number, man. Hit me up, you know, go get us something to eat. I know you said don't go out a little bit, but, you know, just a quick little, you know, pop a brewski or something, you know. So,
most definitely.
All right, my brother. Well, listen, man, appreciate it so much. Marcus, you have anything else?
No, you got it all. I appreciate you coming on, Darian.
Yeah, man, appreciate it so much, man. And you're just giving insight for everybody, just seeing it like a really good glimpse into what the Chiefs, who they are, what y'all want to be, you know, how the whole organization is setting up just for you. And I know everybody, as far as the fans out here, are really anticipating for you to get out there on the field, man. They really are. So
thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We hope you guys enjoyed that. JD, you know, pulling out the tricks out of his hat, out of the pulling his Kentucky roots to get that interview. So that was a great interview to get Darian to come on Chief Concerns. And hopefully we can get some more current Chief players at some point here, and also some past ones. We were in touch with a certain guy who was at the stadium last week. He may be coming on the show in the future. Kimball Anders, who is in the inducted to the Hall of Fame, so he might be coming on Chief Concerns in the future. So we got some things for you guys coming up here in the next few weeks. But that was a great conversation with Darian. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.